If you're beginning your Zepbound journey, or even if you're 6 months in, a year in, I want to encourage you to choose your own path on this journey. And I guarantee you, once you do, it will help you to be successful too. Welcome, my friends, my sunshiny, beautiful friends. Welcome back. I am Cheryl. This is my channel where I have been documenting my weight loss journey for 15 months, losing over 68 pounds currently with the aid and help of Zepbound, a GLP-1 medication, active ingredient, terzepatide. So if you are just beginning your journey and you are taking Zepbound or Mounjaro, Zepbound is prescribed for obesity management, weight loss, Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes. You would be starting at 2.5 milligrams. This is 7.5 box, and this is my 10 milligram pen. So I am a self-proclaimed, not really so much, expert at this point on GLP-1 medication and its side effects and the path that I have taken to get to where I am. And I have to tell you, never in my entire almost 53 years of life, we're in June of 2025. I will be 53 in August. Never in my life have I been successful on a weight loss path that I have been now. I've maybe lost 10 or 15 pounds here or there. I have tried everything under the sun, and I have not been successful. I consider myself to be extremely successful thus far on this medication. And I have to tell you, my path has been very different than many others. Even some of my fellow content creators who I love and adore and watch regularly are on very, very different journeys or paths than I am. And I want to encourage you to not let everyone else dictate your journey or your path, and to find your own way. And I had to do that. And I'm going to tell you, it took me 5 or 6 months. So go back to my beginning videos. My very first video, I'm in actually this hoodie that is right over here hanging up. That is the hoodie that I was wearing. That's so funny that it's sitting there. That is the hoodie that I was wearing in my first video with a black baseball hat. My first Zepbound video. It's in my playlist below. Because I did have other videos before that. But my first Zepbound video, and I took my shot on a Tuesday, and that weekend I decided to turn on the camera and share my shopping with you guys. And I bought all the things, because I started the shot on Tuesday night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I watched all the videos, I watched all the TikToks, I did all the research, and I was like, oh my God, this person's doing this, and this person's doing this, and this is what I should do. And I bought all the crap, and I did all the stuff. Just don't. Do what makes you happy. What I have really, truly learned on this journey is that you need to do what is going to be sustainable for you and for your overall success down this path. And it took me a while. I did all the things with all the apps and all the tracking for a very, very, very long time. And it was exhausting, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I booked the appointment with the dietitian, and last summer, July or August, I went for an appointment with 2 dietitians, and that video is also in my playlist, who told me, stop counting calories. You're doing great. Stop counting calories. You're stressing yourself out. You don't need to do that. And I stopped, and I've counted calories one other time since, and it was about a month or 2 ago. And that was to prove to you guys that even though I wasn't counting calories, I am still very, very intuitive and very aware of what it is that I'm eating and how it still equals the same thing. And what I do instead is 30, 30, and 30. And I do my darndest, try my hardest to get 30 grams of protein in the morning, the afternoon, and for dinner. So my goal is different than your goal. My protein goal is 90 to 100, and that is based on my doctor, 2 dietitians, and the fact that I have an underlying medical condition. So I do have chronic kidney disease. I am 4'11 and 3/4. So for me, that was an ideal amount. My body cannot process as much protein as other people's. So I have to be careful of my protein intake, but I also need to have enough protein to be able to lose weight and build muscle. So it's a struggle. But I had to get to the point where I was so frustrated. I wasn't stalled really, but I was so frustrated and so exhausted with the constant calorie counting and the obsession with all of the numbers in my head that I went to the dietitian and they were like, just stop. Just stop. You know what you're doing. Give yourself a little bit of grace. You're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for. And I really came away from that appointment feeling a little empowered. Like I actually wasn't a moron. Maybe I had been fat and overeating for the majority of my life, but I also wasn't stupid, and I knew what I needed and I knew what was in food. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a few months of counting the calories and serving out portion sizes to now know. So I'm not telling you not to count calories. I'm just saying everyone on the internet was saying, you need this many calories and you need to count this and you need to know all the macros and blah, 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 blah. And it was very overwhelming. And for some people who are A-type personality, that might be what you need 100%. But for me, it started to push me down the wrong path where I knew I was going to self-destruct really soon. And I chose a different path. So for me, my paths, I was going this way and I got to that intersection and my path changed around 5 or 6 months into this journey. And it could change again tomorrow. I don't know. And that's okay, because the path that you need to be on to be successful is the one that works for you. And the one that I was on, that I was watching everybody else on, just wasn't the path that was going to work for me for a long, sustainable future and for a healthy overall outcome, if that makes any sense. So I knew very early on that this medication was doing wonders for me. Side effect of Zepbound, the exhaustion. I knew that this medication was doing wonders, and I knew that I was probably going to be on some type of medication for a very long time because I have always had a weight problem. I have never been able to manage the food noise in my head until it went away on this medication. I was like mind blown. And that's a whole different video for a whole other day. And there is one linked below about food noise as well. But it was a long time building up all of these bad habits and the medication and stuff. So I had to find my own way on this journey. Sorry, my son is texting me and it throws me off a little bit. So I want to make sure that you are all, especially if you are new here, that you're choosing the right path, not following somebody else's path. And if you have been here for a while and you're overwhelmed or things aren't working for you, or you realize that something's just not right, it's okay to change courses, right? You can choose a different path at any time you want. I think of this journey a little bit like Disney. And I got my Mickey friend over here in the background. Anybody who's been to Disney knows that you have that central hub, right? And we have the castle there in the middle. And how many lands are there leading away or leading back to that castle. And the castle for many of us, and for many of us girls or guys who might be the Prince Charming there, that's a magical place. The castle, or the fairy tale of it all, is a magical place. And there's many paths that are leading to this magical place. There's Adventureland, there's Frontierland, there's Journey, Liberty Square. There's all of these different lands leading to this magical place. And that's kind of how I'm thinking of this journey, is I'm here in this magical place, and this body that I want to be in is kind of like the magical place. I'm the castle, and there's many paths leading to getting to this magical place. And I feel like I'm at a pretty magical place right now. The journey that I have chosen is not for everyone. And trust me, I have gotten a lot of ridicule in the comments for the way that I do things. Recently, someone commented about how slow I titrated. And I was like, you don't know me. You don't know my medical condition. You probably have seen 2 of my videos. You have no business commenting on how quickly I'm going from medication to medication, or how quickly I'm losing weight. I am extremely happy, and I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm happy to lose a pound a month. I truly, truly am, because that means, number 1, I'm still losing. And number 2, I'm still healthy. Number 3, I'm still alive. And number 4, I get to stay on this medication. So I am thrilled. The longer I am able to be on this medication without fighting with insurance companies, I'm good. I have said multiple times, my journey is not about an end result of a number. And if that is your journey, that is great. You do you. You might need your journey to be every 10 pounds, or your success to be every 10 pounds. Maybe your journey is 50 pounds. Maybe your journey is 400 pounds, and you will get there if you choose the right path. I just want you all to be choosing for you. We're watching a lot of content creators, myself being one of them, and we're all on our own journey. You don't have to be on my journey, or Susie's journey, or Jolene's journey, or any of the other women, and I'm just making people up. You don't have to follow their journey. You can follow along with them, and I so appreciate you all following along with me, but my journey is mine, and that's it. I don't expect anyone to follow my journey the same way, because my journey is not your journey, and my path is not your path. Everyone's path is different. Mine has been very unconventional, and I know that. I do not follow calories, and I eat about 90 grams of protein a day. I drink very little water, and I've never lied about that. If I get 16 to 20 ounces in a day, I'm lucky. Anything after that is like a miracle. It's a struggle every single day. I have a very difficult time with my water. Am I still losing weight? I am. And I have been extremely open, almost embarrassingly so, about how little I exercise. And I do my best. And when I do actually do it, I share it with you. If I'm not sharing it, I'm probably not doing it. Today I had the option to go outside and walk, or to sit in my car and decompress. And today I chose me. Work has been wild. There's a lot going on. And I went outside and I sat in my car and I just relaxed. I watched YouTube a little bit, and I answered some of your comments. I talked to my husband a little bit because I needed to just be a little bit grounded for 10 minutes. And I chose not to exercise. Do I need to exercise? Of course I do. Do I want to exercise? I mean, I kind of do, but I really also, it's the last thing I want to do. And I'm very open and honest about that. I do some weight training when I feel like it. Should I do it every day? Of course I should. Do I? Not even close. And I have been very forthcoming about that. So my journey, and the reason that I'm so open about this. Trust me, you don't think I'm embarrassed over the fact that I couldn't get off my ass and go walk for 30 minutes? Of course I am. But I also want to be extremely transparent with all of you and let you know that you can still do this and you can still lose weight doing things your way. Do I want to exercise? Yes, I do. Do I want to be strong? Of course I do. But it's just not always in the cards. And breaking those habits are hard. I am extremely grateful that I've been able to break the food habits that I've had for 53 years. I'm taking things one step at a time. Maybe exercise will come in another 2 months. Maybe it'll come in 2 years. Maybe it won't come at all. But right now, that is my path. And my path is choosing right, eating my 90 grams, doing as much water as I can, and trying to do some exercisey things when I can. If it happens, it happens. If I eat the piece of cake, I eat the piece of cake. If I bring my son to Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna get the Chick-fil-A. And these are the things that I do, and this is the path that I'm on. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, it's working for me. And I just want you all to understand that there's a million paths out there. It is a wide open plateau of paths, and you can choose the one that works for you, and don't let anybody tell you differently. I work with at least a half dozen or more people that are on some type of GLP-1. And let me tell you, our paths are so different. We're not even on the same continent sometimes, but we're all doing our thing, you know, and everybody's going to be different. And I just want you all to know that, because I want you all to be successful. And I don't want people preaching to you, especially if you're just beginning your Zepbound journey or your Mounjaro journey or your semaglutide journey, your Wegovy, Ozempic, whatever it might be. I want you to know that you will be successful if you choose your own path. And that's all I want for everybody. I had a ton of other stuff written down here, but it all just came out the way it did. So I don't really know what we're going to end up with here, but it's just from my heart like it normally is. And I just want you all to choose you. Wake up every single day, look in the mirror, and choose you. Because it took me 52 years to decide to choose myself. I'm going to start getting emotional again. But I chose as a 25-year-old, or I can't even do math at this point, guys. Wow. How old was I myself? Yeah, as a 24-year-old, wow. I chose to choose a sweet little baby boy with blonde hair and blue eyes, and that was my choice. And I chose 2 more times after that to continue to be a mom, to be a wife, to be a daughter, to be a sister, to be an educator. I chose all of those things, and I always put those things before myself. This is not where this video is supposed to go. I don't know where this is even coming from. But it took me 52 years to choose me. And I am doing that. And I am not saying that I am being selfish. I'm going to babysit my grandson tomorrow. I just made everybody else's dinner tonight so that tomorrow, while I'm doing other things, they're fed. I still choose everybody else, but I'm choosing to choose me too. And every single day I wake up, I choose my path. And I make my own decisions. And I do what is right for me every single day. And I thank you all for allowing me to come into your lives for just a few minutes every single day and to do that. Because if you weren't choosing me, I don't know that I'd be able to still be here, because you guys are half the reason that I get up and do it every single day. Oh my goodness. God, I don't know if this is like a Zepbound side effect or what, guys. But I thank you guys all so much for being here. Remember, wake up tomorrow morning, look in the mirror, and choose you. I love you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Bye.